Letterman not following his own rules on his late night show last night. Originally, he said that he wasn't going to talk about his sexual relationships with staffers on his show anymore.
Yeah, that's it. Just a one-time thing, but that didn't end up being the case last night. With more on the Letterman drama, Showbiz Tonight's AJ Hammer is joining us. Wow, AJ, quite the mea culpa. I guess he was really primarily extending this to his wife.
Yeah, he you know, and to back up on something you just said, guys, it's going to be really interesting to see how long he actually does continue to talk about this. Last night, it was an interesting opportunity because it was his first time, of course, back on a new show since the announcement first broke last Thursday night about his indiscretions, about the extortion plot. But last night he went on the show and he apologized first off to his staff members, and then he brought his wife in really to let people know how badly he screwed up as far as she's concerned and now what he's up against. Let's watch what he said.
The other thing is my wife, Regina, she has been horribly hurt by my behavior. And when something happens like that, if you hurt a person and it's your responsibility, you try to fix it. And at that point, there's only two things that can happen. Either you're going to make some progress and get it fixed, or you're going to fall short and perhaps not get it fixed. So let me tell you, folks, I got my work cut out for me. And
we have a lot of burning questions to address in the Great Letterman debate, and I'd love to get your take now, Ma, Nicole. You know, some people are saying, well, you really shouldn't be talking about your wife. Don't even bring her into it on this platform right now. I actually think it's an okay thing that he's doing it, at least in the short term, because people want to see that level of humanity coming from Dave. They want to know what's going on there. He's not going to go out and give any interviews about this, as far as I can tell. So they want to know what's going on in that situation, and to hear him, you know, sound contrite about it all and know that he's got a tough hill to climb. I think that's a good thing. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think that by omitting her, it risks being read as callous. Because even though from the start we couldn't draw any conclusions about whether or not there had been infidelity, because we didn't know the time frame that we were talking about in terms of when the sexual relationships happened, there is an assumption that people make that this, you know, would be an offense against his wife, who he's been with for many, many years, for decades actually. And so not bringing her up, it just seems like he doesn't care about her feelings. I mean, one might say he may have compromised her feelings just by doing this, but
yeah.
You know, obviously he's trying to make amends.
Well, and what we're wondering, what we'll be asking tonight on the show is, does he now need his wife's okay on this? In other words, now that he's brought Regina into sort of the dialogue about it, does she actually need to come out and make a statement, which I'm sure is a nightmare to Dave, because it's so ironic how this has all turned out. You know, Dave went public with this to try to protect his family, to try to protect his wife and his child, and now his wife being hounded, you know, people talking about her. Here we are talking about her right now. His staff also, he wanted to protect them, but now they're being hounded by paparazzi and the media. So should she come out and say something? The other thing we're going to address tonight, and this is the subject for a lot of debate, should David Letterman have even gone to the cops in the first place? I read something very interesting from criminal defense attorney Mark Garagos, and Mark said that, you know, Dave should have had his lawyers make this whole thing go away. He said he's dealt with a lot of extortion cases of very public people throughout his career, and in all but one case he was able to make it go away with no money being spent, in not going public, by basically educating the extortionist about the criminality that is involved. Now, there's also a lot of debate about this guy who allegedly committed the extortion, you know, and the fact that he may have positioned himself in a way that he had some sort of a legal loophole, as I think his defense attorney would certainly argue. Also tonight, we're going to talk about whether or not CBS can fire him if they really want to. Because, of course, you got to remember, Dave Letterman owns his show. Worldwide Pants is his company. I'm sure CBS could weasel out of it some way if they really wanted to. Anyway, we'll see you tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on HLN for Showbiz Tonight.
Lots to talk about. Thanks, AJ.
Yeah. All right, guys.